In fact, I was going to ask a totally different question, but instead, while we're on the subject of No Nut November, I want to ask a question related to this. I actually just want to use this now as the question in terms of, are there rules for No Nut November? In terms of like, obviously you're not allowed to make yourself nut, right? But what if you have like a wet dream? Is it invalidated at that point? What also if you case... Yeah, it's gone. It's that's over then at that point. What
you
about...
gave in to temptation even in your dreams.
What if...
Accidental nut?
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah.
You rub up against something a little bit too much.
What you rubbing for, man?
It's an accident. You're almost falling onto something.
Well,
and it makes you nut.
I don't know how little it takes for you to nut, my friend, but if you lose, you lose.
What if you have one of those things where like you jizz with no hands, right? Like, you know, some people are able to do that. I'm not. It'd be quite nice because it would just be a lazy one, wouldn't it? But, you know, like that thing where you could just sit there, throb it a bit, and it's over. What about that? Does that count?
If nut leaves your penis,
It's over.
you've lost.
What
Doesn't
if you
matter
hold,
the method.
What if you hold your finger over the end so it can't come out? Like a corkscrew.
If you do that to the point where nothing comes out, I'd allow it.
Okay.
So pre-cum is nut. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. Well, no.
Because lots of people pre-cum and then they stop themselves. They deny.
Edging, mate. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good that. But you're allowed to do that. That's in the rules. You just can't hit the grand finale. Yeah.
Okay. So what they need to invent, or someone needs to come up with this idea, is something that you could just put on the end which stops it from coming out, right? And I imagine at some point, you know, if you kept on really teasing it, some point something's got to give, right? So either the cork flies off uncontrollably or your penis explodes. One of the two, I think. So, I mean, is that a possibility? Is there an invention that can help people from doing this, or is it just one of those those belts that people put on when they like lock their dick up or whatever?
Chastity belts.
Yeah, one of those things.
Yeah. As far as I'm aware, chastity belts are probably the only method. But if you're willing to put a little something up there to block it, I mean, to each their own, man. But you can do it.
I'm thinking it's just an invention that would help the people that are like desperate not to nut, right? They're like, this is my year. I failed every year. This is my year. I'm going to really, you know, double down on this now. They could have some little device. This I'm picturing this. It's like kind of like this, right? And sits on the end. It's like a cap, but then you like kind of screw in on the top and it like just plugs the top of it. And then the only time it has to be kind of quick release so that you can go for a piss. So it have to have some kind of mechanism for easy release. But I'm thinking, you know, sell that for £10, not a huge cash investment for someone. And that could be something you think, here we go, mate. I'll get you this for this year.
You'd have to be really keen on the charity you're trying to donate to go through that sort of pain, wouldn't you? It would have to be some kind of like kids kind of charity or like a cancer charity or something like really big here that you're trying to raise that money for. You know, do it for the kids. Would you do it for the kids?
I think just associating jizz and kids in any way just kind of puts me off from even remotely entertaining the idea. Jizz and kids.
That's all it is at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, I suppose that's what creates kids.
Where do you think they come from, then?
You're the expert here, out of me and Spencer. Come on. You've been through this process. You know how it all works. To
me, it was just a mystery. To me, it was just like, oh, we've been doing this for ages, and all of a sudden, there's a kid there now. You know, how did this happen? This wasn't on the agenda. So yeah, I thought it would be one of those things, you know, that there's bound to be some help there. Whereas all I see is whenever people are talking about like No Nut November, it becomes like the worst time on the internet because all it is just constant porn everywhere, where people are just trying to off-put each other from doing No Nut November. Like no one really ever shares porn anywhere near as much as they do when it's this time of year. And I was thinking, Spence, maybe this might be the year you grow your moustache out a bit. Go for that Movember money.
Well, that's what I did the one year for your birthday, Phil. And as soon as Big Dog got in the car, he was like, how long have you been growing that, mate? 10 years. And I was like, well, it's got to go.
Classic.
Gotta go. I did keep it for all of November, but I did also look. like a serial killer.
How much money did you raise?
I just did it for me.
You just did it for the fun of it. So
Yeah.
the No Nut November, you're doing that for the fun of it. And you grew your moustache just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And you could be
right.
saving children and curing cancer, and you just did it just for your own fun. Very selfish, Spencer. How dare you?
I'm trying to better myself as a human, you know? So fuck them kids. Well, you know, I wouldn't say fuck people with cancer. That's a bit peak. But I'm doing it for me, and I encourage you lot to do it for you. Or just jack off. It really doesn't matter too much.
Going back to the whole social media of it that Davey sort of brought in there, have you ever just been on Twitter and you've just found something so enticing that you had to just go for it? Because that doesn't happen to me, but I am 38. I'm getting on a bit now. Now, I'm directing this more towards you, Spence, than I am Davey. How do you feel about that? Have you just been scrolling through and you just thought, Jesus Christ, where's the closest place I could dump this?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what it was that did it too. Back months ago, quite a while ago now, only a few months, still this year, Capcom showed the first gameplay trailer for Cammy. Oh, Jesus. I was home at the time, thank God. But it was a long day, I'll tell you what. So thank God it wasn't November.
You were basically Spider-Man at that point. You're shooting webs all over your room. Your mum comes in. She's like, Jesus Christ, you get bitten by a radioactive spider. It's just trails everywhere. The poor woman. She's like, it's either that or a xenomorph's invaded your house. One of the two, you know? One of those kind of situations. On an unrelated to sex thing, I have had the thing where I've been scrolling through Twitter, and you know there's always those like kind of random ads that come up, and most of them I just completely ignore, right? But there was one where it was this guy, and it was a cleaning product, right? And he had this minging looking sink, and he just rubs this fucking thing over it, and it was fucking spotless. And I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this? And if I'd been a weaker man, I would have ordered that straight away and got scammed. But now, thanks to like the reader notes, they're like, this doesn't work. And I was like, oh, damn.
Davey, you need to have that ad blocker on, because the next time you visit the Pirate Bay, you're going to get Swedish dick enlargers and you're going to get Russian brides. And if you're that susceptible to marketing, you know, people like me, we're rubbing our hands together. Not that that's the things I market, but you're what we call a sucker, right? You walk in and you're that big lollipop with the word sucker across your face, and we're just ready to sell to you. So make sure you get that ad blocker. That'll save you a lot of money, mate.
Well, I won't need to worry about money, mate, because I've clicked on that on the 1 billionth clicker, and I've just got 10 mil in the post. So all I have to do is input my card details. It should be coming with me any day now. And then money's no object, right?
It's all those Mr. Beast posts you keep sharing all the time. Share this and you get 10,000 euros or pounds or dollars or whatever he keeps telling people. Has that ever come in?
No, never.
He gets a lot of clicks though, doesn't he? He gets a lot of engagements.
You just got to keep going, mate.
He's onto something there. He's almost lying about giving away money. Maybe we should do a giveaway next episode, guys. Could be a way to build engagement.
Exactly. All I'm thinking is that what we do is we sponsor, or we get people to sponsor Spence's No Nut November. And then you could be blowing loads every day, Spence. Just don't tell anyone, and we'll just keep that money back. You don't need to keep like a, Big Brother-esque blog on you. Like, where it's just constantly just filming your crotch to see if you break. Just tell them on the next podcast, no, I haven't nutted still. And little did we know, yeah, your room's just fucking, it's not like a yellowish door behind, it's ice white now. No one will know. It'll be fine. Wipe down, innit? Wipe down. No one will know. But yeah, that's indulged my my interest on No Nut November. Audience, if you are partaking in No Nut November, then fair play to you. If you feel like you need some kind of cock-stopping invention, let me know. And I'll get the thinking cap on. And then we can put the cap on your knob. Good times. Let me know. Write in pswetrust@gmail.com or reach out to us on Twitter. Always a pleasure to listen to you guys.